friends, I welcome you all for another lecture on the course Microprocessors and Microcontrollers. And this class, I am going to discuss about architecture of 8051 microcontroller. In a previous class, we gone through the features of 8051. So there we discussed some of our features. That time I clearly told you that it is an 8-bit microcontroller. It has a 16 address lines, 8 data lines. It has a timers. All these things I was discussed. And this is an architecture of 8051 microcontroller. It is very, very important for you in your end examinations. Definitely one question comes from this concept, architecture of 8051 microcontroller. I straight away enters into the concept. This is my first block, which is ALU, arithmetic and logical unit. This arithmetic and logical unit, the name itself indicates, it can perform different arithmetic and logical operations. I repeat, it can perform different arithmetic and logical operations. A maximum size of an operand or a maximum size of a data to do this arithmetic or logical operations by ALU was 8 bits. That's why in the last class I clearly told you that the word length of a controller is an 8-bit. That means it can process 8 bits at a time. Process that is related to ALU capacity. So here ALU can do different arithmetic and logical operations maximum on 8 bits. And one more thing, these arithmetic and logical operations are performed through accumulator. So see here friends, A is a accumulator. Here this is a register called accumulator register A. And more straight away I can say that this A is called a primary accumulator. This is a primary accumulator. To do arithmetic and logical operations by using ALU in this 8051, definitely this register was involved. That means before doing of operation by ALU, one operand definitely provided by this register to ALU, and after completion of operation by ALU, the result is stored into again A register itself, accumulator register. So its size is an 8-bit. And coming to the next register is B. This B register also called as accumulator, but it is called a secondary accumulator. Sorry. This is called secondary accumulator. That means this B register acts like accumulator only when in that particular operation already A register is act as accumulator. That means if A is participating in that operation, the producer result not hold by only A itself. We need another accumulator to hold the rest of the result. At that incident, this B register comes onto the picture, and this B register can hold the rest of the result of that operation. So that B register we can also call accumulator. And one more thing, in case of 8051, multiplication and division operation performed by ALU, only the contents of A and B registers only. And after completion of that multiplication and division operations, the results also goes to A and B registers only. So that here B is also act as a accumulator, but it is a secondary accumulator. And one more thing apart from this, we can consider this A and B registers as general purpose registers of 8051. These are accumulator, that is one aspect. And second aspect is, these are two registers we can also consider as general purpose registers of 8051. And one more interesting thing about these registers is, whatever the registers we find in this 8051 controller, each and every register has its own internal address. For coming to this A and B registers, register A has an address is 0E0H and the address of B register is 0F0H. That means we can call A and B registers into your program by using its name A and B or by using their addresses, that is 0E0H and 0F0H. You have that flexibility. I repeat guys, what are the registers you found in this 8051 microcontroller? Most of you then, almost all registers have their own internal address. With the help of their addresses, we can call the registers into our program. That is one option, or we can call those registers by using its name into our program. We have a flexibility. So that is one important thing. And next coming to PC. PC means a program counter. In the features, I can clearly tell you that the program counter PC is not an 8-bit register, it was a 16-bit register. The job of this program counter PC is always it is used to hold the address of next instruction byte what we are going to read from our program memory. Here the program memory is nothing but read-only memory, ROM. In order to execution of your program have a set of instructions. Those set of instructions are executed by the CPU of your controller, one after other. Those instructions are accessed with the help of this program counter PC. Because always this program counter PC will generate the address of next instruction byte where we are going to fetch it from the memory. That is the functionality of PC. But now listen friends carefully. The important thing about this program counter PC is this is the only register in entire 8051 didn't have any internal address. The program counter PC didn't have any internal address. Previously I told you that A register have an internal address 0E0H, register B have an internal address 0F0H. Like that, there is no internal address for program counter PC. And one more thing is, we are unable to split this program counter PC into 2 bytes like a PCL as well as PCH. PCL means a program counter lower byte and PCH means a program counter higher byte. We never gone split our program counters such that PCL and PCH. I told you clearly 2 important points about the PC. Number 1 is it didn't have any internal address. And number 2 is we never split PC into 2 halves like PCL as well as PCH. And coming to the next register is called DPTR, means data pointer. The job of this data pointer is, this is a register which can hold the address of data where we are going to access either from data memory or from program memory. In order to access a data from your program memory or a data memory, the data address can be provided by a register called a DPTR, data pointer. The important thing about this DPTR is, this DPTR we are able to split into 2 halves like a DPH as well as a DPL. DPH is called a data pointer higher byte and DPL is called data pointer lower byte. And these 2 registers have 2 internal addresses. That means DPL have one internal address and DPH have another internal address. So that the total 2 addresses are assigned to DPTR. This is a register which have only 2 internal addresses. Now, coming friends, I compare PC with the DPTR. Both are address registers. That was a similarity. Both are address registers because both can hold an address. PC holds address of an instruction byte and DPTR can hold the address of a data. In that aspect, both are address registers. That is the similarity between a PC and DPTR. But coming to the differences, we never split our PC into 2 halves like a PCL and PCH, but we can split DPTR into 2 halves like a PCL, DPL and DPH. And second difference is PC didn't have any internal address, but DPTR has a 2 internal address, one for DPH and another one is for DPL. So see here friends, the PC produced address and DPTR produced address is a 16-bit address because these 2 register sizes are 16 bits. But coming to this A and B registers, our sizes are 8-bit, the outputs are given to 8-bit data and address bus. So here there are two internal buses. One is 8-bit data and address bus, which is connected to A and B, and another one is a 16-bit address bus. It is connected to PC and DPTR. And next, coming to this program status word TSW. Program status word TSW. This is a register which can hold all our mathematical flags, all our conditional flags, or all our status flags. In a features, we clearly knows that your 8051 supports 4 mathematical flags and 3 user-defined flags. Out of 3 user-defined flags, 1 user-defined flag is present in this TSW. Along with this, 5 bits and 2 more bits are active bits. One is RS1 and second one is RS0. RS1 and RS2. RS represent register bank select. Register bank select. In case of your 8051, there are 4 register banks. See here, friends. These are 4 register banks. Register bank 0, register bank 1, register bank 2, register bank 3. In order to address these register banks, I took the help of register bank selection bits RS1 and RS0. That means at any instant of time, I'll go and select only one register bank out of 4. So later we can go and see the structure of that PSW. So here important thing is that this PSW get the information from ALU. That means after execution of an operation by ALU, it will produce the results. The results are goes to accumulators and result conditions are goes to PSW. Result conditions like carry, or occurrence of overflow, or occurrence of parity, or occurrence of auxiliary carry. All these things are present here. And next, coming to this is ROM. We know 8051 has internal read-only memory of size 4 kilobytes. Internally read-only memory of size 4 kilobytes. Generally, these 4 kilobytes of read-only memory we call as program memory, internal program memory. This is an internal program memory. This is the place which is helpful for me to hold up the system files or programs. Not only that, it can hold constant data. That means what are the data are constant, which are not changes frequently. Such data are stored in this read-only. And coming to one more block here is, this is the special function registers and RAM. The total size of this block is 256 bytes. The total size of memory that was present in that block is 256 bytes. In that 256 bytes, 128 bytes is dedicated to internal RAM and another 128 bytes are dedicated to internal special function registers. So that's why here it is a special function registers and RAM. The block is a combination of both. The total size is 256 bytes. In that, first 128 bytes are dedicating for internal RAM and another 128 bytes are dedicating for this special function registers SFRs. See here, friends, some of special function registers like IE means interrupt enable register, like IP interrupt priority register, PCOM power control register, SBUF serial buffer register, SCON serial control register, TCON timer control register, TMOD timer mode selection register, TL0 timer 0 lower byte, TH0 timer 0 higher byte, TL1 timer 1 lower byte, TH1 timer 1 higher byte. I am already told you, friends, that is the internal register what I was found in this 8051 microcontroller. Each and every register has its own internal address except the program counter PC. Those addresses we are getting from the second half of this 256 bytes. So that's why in this block you have two partitions. One partition is RAM of size is 128 bytes and another half is nothing but SFRs, that is another 128 bytes. And coming to this, these are the latches. So latches are connected in front of our ports. I already told you in the features. 8051 has a 4 I/O ports. Each port have 8 I/O pins. Those are port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. These are those ports. Port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. At each port we are connecting I/O devices, and each port have 8 I/O pins. And these 8 I/O pins have different functions. Once you remember, friends, the comparison between a microprocessor and microcontroller, we know that a microcontroller have more pins are multifunction. More pins are multifunction. If you remember that, so here I have a 4 ports, each port have I/O pins are 8. The total number of pins I was getting only from I/O ports are 4 into 8, which is a 32. And your 8051 is available in 40 pin dual inline package. Out of 40 pins, 32 pins I was getting from I/O ports. If you see here, friends, this port 0 have a dual function. One is these port 0 signals are used for the connection of I/O devices, as well as these port 0 signals is act as multiplex address and data routes. If you refer our features, 87 to 80 is a multiplexer bus. That 87 to 80 is act as address lines A0 to A7, and those same lines are act as data lines D7 to D0 in different time slots. And coming to port 1, there is no alternate function. These are simply used for the connection of I/O devices. And coming to port 2, these are used as I/O pins for connection of I/O devices. Not only that, these are also used as dedicated higher order address lines A8 to A15. And coming to port 3, it is the most interesting. These are port 3, 8 I/O pins. These are used for the connection of I/O devices. And not only that, these port 3 have 4 different dedicated functions. So 8 signals we divided into 4 groups, and in each group we may found 2 signals for interrupts, and 2 signals for timers or counter operation, and 2 signals for serial data communication, and 2 more signals for control signals. So multi-functions we may found in port 3 signals. And coming to this is system timing, system interrupts and timers, data bus buffers and memory control. And these blocks have a set of signals like A bar means external active, and ALE address latch enable, PSEN bar program store enable or program store enable, XTL1 that is nothing but, so it is crystal connection signal 1, and XTL2 crystal connected signal 2, reset signal, and these 2 are power supply signals. Now we can go and see the structure of this PSW. See here, friends, this is the structure of PSW, program status word. In this program status word, size is equal to 8 bits, that is D0 to D7. Out of 8 bits, 7 bits are defined. In 1 bit is not defined in this. And in this total 7 bits, 4 bits are related to mathematical flags or our conditional flags or our status flags. Those are parity flag PF, OV overflow flag, and AC auxiliary carry, and CY carry. And 1 is user defined flag, that was F0, and 2 are register bank selection bits. This is a register bank selection bits, RS1 and RS0. Now we can go and see for what cases these are conditional flags PF, OV, AC and C1 set to 1. For what cases these are set to 1, for what cases these values are set to 0. Because these are 4 flags we can call as conditional flags. So first we can go and see the parity flag PF, flag PF is set to 1 when the result contains even number of 1s. The parity flag PF set to 1 when the result contains even number of 1s, or the accumulator contains even number of 1s. The reason for this is after doing of any arithmetic or logical operation by ALU, the result is goes to a register A itself. That's why the parity flag PF is set to 1 when the result have even number of 1s, or accumulator register A contains even number of 1s. And coming to next, OV flag. Overflow flag is set to 1 when any arithmetic operation satisfies overflow rule. I repeat, OV flag is set to 1 when any arithmetic operation satisfies overflow rule. What overflow rule is? If you add two same sign numbers, the result have a different sign, then we can say that the overflow was occurred. Or I can say in another way, the producer result size is greater than the destination size, then also we can say that the overflow was occurred. So this OV is set to 1 once the producer result size is greater than the available destination size. And next is AC, auxiliary carry. This auxiliary carry is set to 1 for two cases. Case 1, in addition, the carry was transferred from bit position D3 to D4. Or I can see in another way, in addition, the carry was transferred from lower nibble to upper nibble. In case number 2 is, in case of subtraction, the bar was transferring from bit position D4 to D3, or we can say that in case of subtraction, the bar was transferred from upper nibble to lower nibble. In either cases, this auxiliary carry is set to 1. And you remember friends, this auxiliary carry we can also call BCD carry or secondary carry. And last one is C1. C1 means a carry flag. This carry flag also set to 1 for two cases. Case 1, in addition, C out is equal to 1. That means in addition, you may get a final carry. That time the CY is set to 1. And case number 2 is in subtraction. The first number is less than second number. To do that subtraction, definitely we need a barrow. For indication of that barrow also, we are using this carry. Or I can say in another way. This carry flag is set to for subtraction when the minute value is less than suprahand. You remember friends, minute is nothing but the first number and suprahand is nothing but second number. These are the setting conditions for our conditional flags or mathematical flags or status flags. And F0 is user defined flag. We can go and use F0 for different purposes. If you refer this, I didn't found sign flag. I can go and use F0 as a sign flag. And I can go and, I didn't have any zero flag, so that sometimes I can go and use F0 as a zero flag. Because F0 is user defined. That means the functionality of F0 can be defined by user itself. So that is, and next RS1 and RS0. These two we can call as register bank selection bits. So see here, RS1 and RS0. So 4 combinations, 0 0 case, 0 1 case, 1 0 case, 1 1 case. So 0 0 case, I was selecting register bank 0. So whose address is from 00H to 07H, and it is 01. We are selecting bank 1. Address range is from 08H to 0FH. And next 10 case, I was selecting bank 2. Then address range is from 10H to 17H. And last case 11 case, that indicates bank 3. The address range is from 18H to 1FH. That means you remember friends, once you are observing this addresses, under each bank you may found 8 addresses. Under each bank you may found 8 addresses. That means in each and every register bank there are 8 registers. Those are from R0 to R7. R0 to R7. In bank 1 also you may found registers R0 to R7. In bank 2 also you may found registers R0 to R7. In bank 3 also you may found registers R0 to R7. That means in each and every bank you may found a register name from R0 to R7. The register names are same, but their addresses are different. These addresses we are getting based on which register bank we were selected for our operation of 8052. So 4 register banks, under each bank you may have 8 registers. So from this register bank total you may get 4 into 8 registers, 32. And 2 more registers A and B. By adding of A and B registers for this, total you may found 34 registers. These are 34 registers we can call general purpose registers of 805. General purpose registers of 805. So I hope you understand the architecture of 8051 microcontroller. In the next class, I am going to discuss about the pin configuration of 8051. Thank you for patient listening. I will meet in next class. Thank you very much.